when you listen them live, you feel that, oh my god, this is a band which is 24 years old but still at its peak, and is absolutely able to engage a today's 20-year-old and a today's 45-50-year-old equally well, and it's a phenomenal experience.
I think going to a very large concert is like pilgrimage. You just get a glimpse of the idol that you came for. For me, going to concert was paying homage to all the big artists that we listened for free. In India, the cost of organizing such concert is much lower, and the ticket prices are same, if not more. The Coldplay concert might be a pivotal moment, and in the next decade, many more concerts will be organized.
I guess there are different versions of Coldplay out there. There's a millennial version of Coldplay which is very dear to me. The run from parachutes to X and Y. And then there's the Gen Z version of Coldplay.
Coldplay tickets are now 26 times the original.
Oh yes, it's now the 26th of June 1998. By the 26th of June 2002, the Coldplay, or the band, whatever they're called then, will be known just all over, man. Don't you forget. Massive. Absolutely huge.
Where do we go? Nobody knows. I've gotta say, we're so happy to be here, we're so honored. Give us everything you've got and we'll give you everything we've got. And let's make some noise right now, let's turn it up loud.
मेरा Coldplay t-shirt दिख नहीं रहा है.
Hey everyone, welcome to Music Gravy. This is Akhil from Brussels, Yasir from Indore, and Varun from Singapore.
Hey guys.
Here we are again to discuss about something very interesting. I think this year, which is catching attention and headlines, not just in India, but all across the globe. The concert tickets for Coldplay.
Coldplay concert tickets sold out within minutes.
Crashed due to heavy traffic. Later, when it was back online, over 11 lakh people were still waiting to book tickets for the first day.
This is not just coming in your Aaj Tak and Hindustan Times. It is the headline for New York Times, Guardian, everywhere in the world. Everybody is like surprised that India mein the concert tickets for $11,000. Like it's all over the reels, and we are all wondering. Like Coldplay has been a favorite band for most of us for a very long time, and like
most of us with an asterisk, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. With an asterisk.
True. Yeah, at some point or the other, I think all of us have loved some songs. Some of us have continued to enjoy their songs and follow their journey. But like for the rest of the world, who is Coldplay? What is going on with the concert tickets? What is going on with the prices of the concert tickets? Is it just happening in India? Is it the story across the world? These are some interesting things we are trying to explore in today's discussion. And among three of us, there is one guy who has actually been able to crack the concert tickets of Coldplay and attend a Coldplay concert very recently. Varun.
Hey guys. एक्चुअली क्रैक करने जैसा कुछ था नहीं, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. सिंगापुर में उन्होंने 7 शोज़ किए थे और फिर 2 बढ़ा दिए थे. आई थिंक 8 या 9 शोज़ किए थे ओवर अ वीक. एंड टिकट बुकिंग के टाइम पे तो नहीं मिले थे, बट यू वेट टिल लास्ट मिनट. देर आर टन्स ऑफ पीपल हु कैन नॉट मेक इट. ऑब्वियसली हर लोग बुक कर लेते हैं बहुत पहले, पर जा नहीं पाते इवेंचुअली, एंड यू गेट एट लिस्ट प्राइस या उससे कम में भी मिल जाता है कभी कभी, एंड यू आर एबल टू गो. तो मैं सारे कॉन्सर्ट्स ऐसे ही देखता हूँ. आई डोंट लाइक
कह रहे हैं कि कैट क्रैक हो गया, 99 आ गया, बस वो तो बोर्ड के ही तो सिलेबस है, कौन सी बड़ी बात है.
मतलब पर आई थिंक वी शुड स्टार्ट विद अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट फॉर पीपल हु हैव रिसेंटली नोन अबाउट Coldplay कि कोल्डप्ले किस टाइम से है और क्या है, इट्स यूजफुल, एंड किस बैंड से हमें जनरली कंपेयर करना चाहिए कोल्डप्ले, दैट इज ऑल्सो नॉट वेरी clear because their styles have evolved over time. So my personal exposure to Coldplay and most of us would be around 2000s because they were formed in 1996. Their first album, debut album Parachutes, came in 2000, which was really international acclaim flame. That was really their big arrival on the scene. And us time pe, if you think about that 2000s ka time, the most influential bands alongside Coldplay used to be Linkin Park, Radiohead, Green Day, Foo Fighters, to some extent
Black
Muse,
Keys.
Black Keys, Arctic Monkeys, Maroon 5, some of these guys, Slipknot for example. So these were the bands when Coldplay came to the fore. And personally my introduction to Coldplay, मैं तो सूरत में, I am born in a small town. मेरा यूएस से कजिन आया था. He had a collection of personally written CDs, and he used to listen to this thing on his Walkman, and I used to ask him, what are you listening to? And he left this CD because I liked it so much, and it was Coldplay's Parachutes album, and that one CD which he left me, I used to keep playing all the time.
Oh no, I see a spider web is tangled up with me.
And it's kind of etched, कौन से गाने के बाद कौन सा गाना आता है उस एल्बम में, वो पड़ा है दिमाग में. मतलब that is the exposure to Coldplay.
I think there is just a 2-3 year gap between when I started listening or you, but for me, Coldplay was in that alternate rock / grunge
Yeah.
metal folder, and my new metal folder was different. The new metal had Slipknot and Linkin Park,
Yes.
and the grunge alternate rock had RHCP, Nirvana, Radiohead. I would say in their first few albums, the closest band for me would be Radiohead. I think their
Yes.
style of that melancholic singing, minimalist arrangement.
It's the best thing that you ever had, the best thing that you ever.
And each and every song of the first two albums, Don't Panic, Shivers, Sparks, God Put a Smile on Your Face, each having a unique chord and very beautiful lyrics. And at that time also, I was a big fan of Hitchhiker's Guide of Galaxy, Douglas Adams. And when I saw Don't Panic, which I see in Yasir's background also,
Yeah.
that British philosophical, humorous connect was something that struck me.
Bones sinking like stones, all that we fall for.
And like they have continued in a more recent album, they have a track called 42.
Those who are dead are not dead, they're just living.
So when they have matured also, they're like the core, their inspirations seemingly remain the same, and like how they have evolved from very personal youth exploring to love songs to more world peace kind of songs. The inspiration of Douglas Adams and Hitchhiker's Guide seem to continue. That's something interesting for me.
Yasir, the asterisk. What is the asterisk?
Yeah, Coldplay. Like back in 2006-7, if I was getting concert ticket to a Coldplay show, I would have given an arm and a leg for it. Like that run from Parachutes to Rush of Blood to The Head to X and Y. They were like 10 on 10 albums, and I can still listen to them from start to finish even today. And as you guys articulated, I guess there are different versions of Coldplay out there. There's a millennial version of Coldplay which is very dear to me, the run from Parachutes to X and Y. And then there's the Gen Z version of Coldplay. Today, if I'm hanging out with some folks and the mention of Coldplay comes up, so it's Paradise and Sky Full of Stars and
Viva la Vida.
Something just like this. Even Viva la Vida is kind of old Coldplay that ways, I guess. So there are like different versions of Coldplay. There's a Gen Z Coldplay and there's a millennial Coldplay.
But the reality is 2000 and हम अभी 2024 24 साल हो गए यार उस बैंड को. It's not a recent band, and I kind of lost touch and lost connect with the music they evolved into also, to be honest. But recently जब वो सिंगापुर आए and then the concert was happening, I had heard a lot about their production and how they do their concert, and Warner Brothers actually produces their concert. It is the Pink Floyd concert of our times, to be honest. आप कोई भी YouTube video उठा के देख लो, production quality and the way they engage the crowd, the way they bring back those songs, the old and the new and everything, and mix it together into a very meaningful set list. And Chris Martin, जिस तरीके से he holds the crowd and engages them, it is unbelievable. It and those bands which are in sync, सारे मतलब all 100,000 people के जो light bands in sync with the music, and it's just a completely different mind-blowing experience in terms of production quality and what happens in that concert. So we wanted to go, we went, again completely mind-blown. I mean, I will share some videos of what we recorded in person, and it was just insane. Sky Full of Stars, और ये जो अब बाद में पॉपुलर हुए BTS वाला जो गाना है वगैरह, ये सारे गाने तो है ही थम्पिंग एंड नाइस, बट देन those original songs which got me hooked, just living all those songs again, Yellow, Fix You, insane.
Well, high up above or down below, when you were too loved to let it show. Oh, but if you never try, you'll never know just what you were. Okay, let's go.
When you listen them live, you feel that oh my god, this is a band which is 24 years old but still at its peak. Most of the bands, if I went to see Red Hot Chili Peppers 4 saal pehle, they were here at F1, and you can see that they are in their 60s. The voice is not there, the guitar clicks are not that sharp, the band has aged. Or ठीक है, there is a lot of nostalgia value, but quality of music is not there. But Coldplay के उसमें you can really see it's tight. It's absolutely bang on in terms of engaging the audience, performance quality, production, सब कुछ it's just top notch. And I genuinely felt कि ये मेरे time का शायद it's one of the few bands which is still relatively young, which is still in sync with today's time and music, and is absolutely able to engage a today's 20-year-old and a today's 45, 50-year-old equally well, and it's a phenomenal experience.
And I will try to fix you. Thank you so much, everybody.
And that is very hard to say about all these bands के जो हमने नाम लिए अभी, जो सारे नाम हमने उस टाइम के बोले, it's very hard to say about any of them actually. That's why I feel it's a bit unique, and that's why the craze in India also, multiple generations connected with Coldplay, and that's why the rush for the tickets.
And I was going through Coldplay's YouTube page. They have so many music videos which are like 1+ billion. So not many artists can claim that today. In a nutshell,
but that's a really spot on point. And being a consultant, I had to look at the numbers and do some analysis and put it on a slide. I feel the biggest reason for their following and success after 24, 20, 30 years almost is the chart in blue. Their social media following shadows all other bands of that time. And Coldplay has kept up with YouTube, with Instagram, and making their music accessible to all generations that sort of came after. look at the number of albums they have sold over the years. They consistently, whatever they have launched, while we may like it or not like it, it's absolutely opinions, but they have sold a lot of their global albums. Even after the initial style of music have continued to sell, and their concert revenues, tour revenues, are again off the charts. And that is not because, I personally feel that's probably not because they have so many popular songs. It's also because they have put thought and effort in making the experience of that concert mind blowing, like really mind blowing. They start with a very clear message about sustainability when they start their concert, and it's a short video, but you can see it embedded across the whole concert.
Even their first album, first song is about sustainability.
They start the concert with this song actually. This
ये
is the
पहली
first
album का पहला
song.
गाना है.
ये स्टार्ट ही इससे करता है. But then they also have partnered with Warner Brothers to take the production quality to the next level, and that's why their revenues also show in terms of what they make in terms of tour revenues.
In fact, I remember like even in their first album, the video of Clocks, there was a laser show background and
Yeah.
the way the stage was lit and their energy on the stage. That was a point I thought, okay, this is a band, it would be worth watching live because they have created that whole atmosphere which makes concert going so much more fun compared to many other bands even of that time. One
I guess,
interesting thing I observe here is that even Maroon 5 is like the number 2, and they also have gone more popish and have done
Yeah.
collabs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think collabs, while these are the things where I was trying to see and just compare, I think musical evolution wise, they have really shifted to pop, electronic, and a bit of a global appeal, while most of the others have stayed consistent. Unfortunately, Maroon 5 is not here. But if you look at the other things, which is live experience, these guys have really made it immersive, high tech shows. And collabs, if you see all the other bands, this is something which is quite unique to Coldplay and Maroon 5. They have made themselves, and collab is not just about getting that artist followers. I feel it is also about pushing yourself to appreciate somebody else's style of music and work with them to create something that is somewhere in the middle, your style and their style, and something in the middle, right? So when they would have worked with BTS or Rihanna or Chainsmokers to bring those songs together, they would have also learned in the process and evolved their musical styles. And
In fact, the Chainsmokers song could easily be taken as a Chainsmokers song, right? If you listen to it independently. Compared to the other songs which are still primarily Coldplay song, I would say number 2 would be BTS song. Like parts of it are completely BTS, but the other songs are like more mainstream pop, not
Correct.
necessarily a very unique Beyonce or Rihanna sound. But Chainsmokers particularly, I felt okay, it's a typical Chainsmokers song.
Chainsmokers featuring Play.
yeah.
If you look at the collabs, it is not just the artists, the concepts and the locations. I would say when they came up with Him for the Weekend, which has a peacock in the beginning and the complete India set with Beyonce in. I think it's not just a popular artist, just the visual. Okay, people are thinking, okay, this guy is actually coming to India. He's running in the streets of Mumbai. The locations itself, or the song with Rihanna is Princess of China. So picking up truly global things. And I think there is a song with Pharrell Williams, which has like Afro beats in between. So the style of music, the artists, the locations, and the concepts gives them a much wider reach and audience.
But anyway, I mean, I think it's not easy to be a 30-year-old band and continue to remain relevant, even if your music is legendary. Nobody debates that Radiohead's music, for example, is legendary. There is no doubt about it. But keeping yourself relevant is a completely different art.
Like, had Coldplay after Viva La Vida around that time, had they stayed serious about, say, a certain rock sound, staying committed to rock aesthetics, they might not have been as big as they are today.
But that's the difference in mindset. मतलब हम ही अपने सर पे एक लेबल लगा देते हैं, फिर हमें लगता है अरे यही मेरा लेबल है, आई विल स्टे ट्रू टू दैट लेबल. They just played the music they enjoyed from that time and they continue doing that.
I would say also like the for Coldplay, even in the early days, their lead guitarist was not the most popular guy, or their bassist was not the most popular guy, or their drummer was
Hmm.
not the most popular guy. They were
Yeah.
always lyrics and vocals centric. So
Yeah.
maybe that genre shift might have been easier for them.
And to add to the things you said, the aesthetic of how it all came together and was presented, the video with which it came forward, it just brought
Yep.
everything. Like the video of Scientist, for example, the whole thing in reverse. It
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
stuck with the way they did the song. It is such a simple song. There is nothing fado in it. There is no fado lead. There is no crazy keyboard. Nothing. It's just a simple, well written vocal song. That's it.
Actually, that's a thing. Like, be it even Yellow, for example, in terms of the video script, there's not much happening in that video, but still it's very iconic.
Yeah.
And by the 2010s, they realized this and doubled down on it to make their videos really larger than life.
To me, they have that Michael Jackson aesthetic in their videos. Like there was an era when each and every Michael Jackson video was truly global, exploring
Oh, yeah.
various global themes. Similarly, I think
Correct.
each and every Coldplay video in the last 15-20 years has been iconic. One more interesting thing to note is that if you look at their YouTube channel, even their very old songs, they have a 4K video. Like Scientist has a 4K video. So for a lot
Hmm.
of bands, their old songs don't have even a HD video. So that the
Yeah.
whole experience of discovering the artist, listening to their songs,
Correct.
and we have been talking ki video is such an important piece, and especially in a song like Scientist, right? That
Wow.
video is half the job.
That is unbelievable, यार मतलब ये तो
Yeah.
attention to detail है again मतलब
Exactly.
Yeah.
To the sound, when we are talking about the unique sound, I think they were never a typical rock band. So you would never remember any melting guitar solo or drum solo
Yeah.
in their songs.
I think what these guys do well is they bring that feeling, capture that feeling quite well around which the song is written, and that's enough. I think that's what these guys are trying to say.
Great songwriting.
Yeah, just that for me, there was a certain melancholia in their writing in the first few albums, like especially Parachutes, Rush of Blood to the Head,
Exactly.
X and Y.
ये
I mean,
आशिक को पसंद नहीं आए बाद के गाने बड़े
which,
I think Parachute
I mean,
is still more like self-exploring. I would say that's less
Yes.
of that lovey-dovey songs, and that's
Yes.
very close to Radiohead. Their first album
Yeah.
is like
Yes.
"Don't Panic" and "God Put a Smile on Your Face."
Al-
Very,
although
very,
just to be fair, like Radiohead albums of that era, like the late 90s, was another level altogether, which
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
think Coldplay is ever going to touch. But nonetheless, it's almost like the melancholia or kind of being in touch with themselves was the soul of their music to me. But today, like the last 15, 18 years of Coldplay has been more upbeat. I have never been able to connect to it.
Yeah.
And just want to share a glimpse of something actually with you guys. I joined Last FM back in 2008 and I was just visiting my Last FM Coldplay ka page. And I guess that tells the story of me and Coldplay. That in the last 10 years or so, I really don't go back to Coldplay.
That is so true. But your Parachutes is your most listened album, huh?
Yeah. All these three albums are 10 on 10 for me, but it's really Parachutes, which is probably most dear amongst the three as well.
Nice, man.
इससे वो ख्याल आया Tarantino's Jackie Brown, where towards the end Samuel Jackson says to Robert De Niro,
What happened to you, man?
"What happened to you, man? Your ass used to be so beautiful."
Used to be beautiful.
And that's the feeling with Coldplay. They used to be so beautiful, like.
What happened? Because
Yeah.
I feel you, man. And I was looking at exactly this. I was looking at what are their most popular videos. And I just sorted their videos by views. And the first three, no, like not what
Yeah.
I would play any given day by myself. Scientist, I'm so happy to see that
Yeah,
up
yeah.
there with like the top 5 videos. Of course, Yellow had to be there. But then, yeah.
I'm surprised Fix You is at like 8. I would have
Yeah.
expected a bit.
But Fix You, I think it's not the video, it's the song.
वो येलो का भी वीडियो ऐसे ही है, राइट? फिक्स यू एंड येलो आर वेरी सिमिलर वीडियो, लाइक जस्ट द बैकग्राउंड इज डिफरेंट.
No, but I feel Yellow, the video is something else. That seeing that sky go from dark to morning, there is something there. Yeah. Up and Up actually is one of my favorite videos. It's very trippy. Have you seen?
Nah,
No,
I haven't heard
You've not
the
seen
song
Up and
also.
Up? Really? That is
I
literally
have not seen the video. Right?
I love this video. It is just amazing.
Fixing up a car, driving it again, searching for the water, hoping for the rain, up and up. Up and
I think I had seen it and forgotten it because the video is very interesting, but the song I didn't find very impressive.
Yeah, very cool animation.
Underneath the storm, an umbrella saying, sitting with the boys and takes away the pain. Up and up, up and up.
All their videos have that like very global kind of feel.
Yeah,
Earth,
exactly.
space, many countries.
But they address, I think the reason I kind of like this video is they very subtly they have addressed so many things in this video, like war scenes, Afghanistan with fish, and space travel and global warming and a lot of things, like just really well done, thought through kind of visuals.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it takes you to a different place. So yeah.
So somewhere Coldplay is a great testament to transformation and pivoting. They became only bigger with the internet era. Then embracing tech. Rajani, you mentioned that in their concert, you get those bands and they're all in sync to the music.
And it's not just the band and the tech around it, because it is so deliberate. And I spoke to many friends who went on different days in Singapore for the concert. It is absolutely rehearsed. Nothing in that show is impromptu. But it feels every show is when you are there in that show. They have rehearsed it so well, and they have made those lines and what they say before and between songs, etc., so relevant that you feel that today is the day they are giving their best and they are performing their best, and it is because we are here in the audience. They are really killing it today.
Wow.
So a few things which caught my attention, right? So the song Magic, Coldplay's song, you remember Magic? When they perform this song at the stage, they will always randomly pick someone from the crowd, bring them up to stage, and they will let them sing along with them the song Magic. Now, while the person is different who they pick from crowd, and I'm assuming it's completely random because it's very hard to script that, and you can genuinely see the person who they pick is emotional and whatever, like it's completely. But what they do with that song, and they change the lyrics and they rewrite that on live to make it relevant for that person.
I call it magic. I call it true. I call it magic. When I'm next to
I've read so many times and seen so many videos. They have probably a few 10-20 versions of it, but they mix and match and they do it. They have practiced it so much times. There are 3 stages in the concert. There's a main stage, there's a middle stage, there's a stage at the end. So they make it a point to perform at all 3 stages so that even the crowd standing at the back of the concert, they get to see them up close. Like this is deliberate. It's not something that a lot of artists will put thought and effort into, because it takes something. You have to build a tunnel under the stage where they can walk and pop up at the stage at the end, and they time everything, and the one song ends and then lights start and then they start running and then they come up, and as they come up at the stage at the end, the song starts again. It's all so in sync that you're like, oh my god, like how did they pull this off? And So some of these things takes effort, takes deliberate thinking and rehearsals, and they have made it like a machine. They do probably 100 shows a year, and they deliver the same high quality experience wherever they go. And it's not easy for any artist to do this. It takes effort, commitment. You have to be absolutely professional about it, and you can see that effort in what they do live. And that's why my respect for them went up after seeing that concert. And I was like,
I
yeah.
think you have convinced us to go to the concert.
Kudos, by the way, to Coldplay because they might be doing world tours all through the year, but for that particular fan, for that particular audience member, it might be the only time they get to see Coldplay live.
What is interesting is that even in the internet era, the concert going and the scale of concerts and the revenue of the concerts, it has increased insanely. You would like to believe that with the hi-fi audio and easier availability of music, maybe the concert going might reduce. But the physical concerts and the large scale concerts and stadium filling has actually increased.
And which brings to mind somewhere the craziness around concert ticket prices of late, where whether it is Diljit's concert tickets or if it is Coldplay concert tickets, I doubt if artists are being as thoughtful because with such big concerts, really a small percentage of the audience which is getting close access to the stage or to the artist. The bigger majority of the audience is really in the distance and are looking at the artist performing on a screen, which is a very sorry state.
I think going to a very large concert is like pilgrimage. You mostly standing with you see you know everything from the far and you just get a glimpse of
nostalgia,
the idol that you came for. But it is just the fact that you have, like, we were not even paying for Spotify, right? In our college time, we were just, everything was torrent and downloaded and files on internet. For me, going to concert was paying homage to all the big artists that we listened for free for a very long time. In that way, I would say, like, for a lot of artists, because there is not physical sale of albums and all that, so maybe they probably need to even focus more on the live concerts. And that's why the scale of concerts and the focus of bigger bands, revenue coming through the tours might have increased.
Which completely makes sense, right? And this because except for, let's say, the top 1% artists on Spotify, the other 99% is not getting that much quantum of streams.
Correct.
So it's not really making up for that much of royalty. And hence, unless they perform live and those concerts are selling out, they probably are not able to make ends meet.
Absolutely. Like, one thing which I saw a documentary on YouTube, and it was extension of my own experience buying concert tickets in Europe, is that there are now a couple of platforms, especially Ticketmaster and Livenation, which are controlling the ticket prices.
Live Nation is really controlling the entire ecosystem of most of the concerts that people are going to in this country. Everything from the point of sale system to the staffing at the bar to what is being sold at the bar and for how much. They're dictating what tours get to come to your venue, how tickets are sold, and at what price they're sold, and what fees are attached.
The downside of that is that the smaller venues are not able to thrive now. The access to big artists for smaller venues has become super hard. The access to the audience because for me, I see a ad on Meta, Facebook, Instagram, I click on it, it takes me to the larger concert. But for me to discover a smaller venue or a smaller concert is very hard. So the documentary said that, like, lots and lots of smaller venues have actually been shut in US over the last decade and a half because of these larger platforms.
10 years after the Live Nation Ticketmaster merger, the COVID pandemic shook the foundations of this hierarchy to its core.
No matter where you were in the country, rooms like this were the first to close and the last to reopen. Large corporations were able to position themselves much better coming out of the pandemic than we were as indie establishments. We have never gotten back to where we were in 2019.
The bottom has fallen out of live music, so independent venue owners and artists at the small and mid-sized levels are struggling, while Live Nation and the upper echelon of artists that Live Nation works with continue to make massive profits.
They are blaming the platforms but that's the truth. It's hard to say it's right or wrong.
I personally feel the concert experience in India has been broken for a long time. There are still weird regulations, and you have to take so many permits, and police will have their own noise cutoff time. It's too messy to organize something world class in India. And I'm saying one is the regulations, but the other is the entry, exits, traffic, security, availability of water and toilets and food. And this has been a consistent complaint and a failure to do large concerts in India.
And after entering, there's three types of stampede. First, to get the pass over there's a huge stampede, and to get in, there's another stampede. And when we get in, finally, there's another stampede to get a seat.
And even in the recent Diljit concert, you saw so much social media complaints about exactly these things. That I bought a VIP ticket, but I was so far away even after that. And even after buying a VIP ticket, there were not clean toilets. It took me 1 hour to get out of the venue, and there's just too much. My point being, the larger venues, I get your point, Gupak, and they are getting popular. But in India, we need to really figure out a way to fix this properly and allow for venues which are world class, where these artists can come and perform and give the experience they want to give to people. Because otherwise, paying $11,000 for a shitty experience of Coldplay and then blaming Coldplay is not fair.
I would say like two things, right? One is that there is also a mindset of privilege. I'm sure the guy who is able to afford a 2 lakh ticket or a $10,000 ticket, they'll not be happy in a concert in Europe also, because they are used to everything being served and having 5-star facilities. They will not be happy in a metal festival in Europe. They will not survive. But the other thing is that the economics of it in Europe, actually, most of the concerts are loss making or just they barely break even, especially after COVID and couple of incidents around terrorism which have happened. The kind of regulations and the cost of labor which are involved. So the venue and the organizer do not make much money unless it is a Coldplay. The same artists in India, the cost of organizing such concert is much lower, and the cost of production is far lower for the same equipment. The ticket prices are same, if not more, in India. And I think the Coldplay concert might be a pivotal moment for the next decade, because the artists themselves might not have realized India as a market as much till now. With this big Coldplay concert, that awareness might kick in, and I really am foreseeing that in the next decade, many more concerts will be organized. And the problems that you're solving, the economics of it should take care of it.
Let's see. I mean, I feel if you get a chance, you should not miss a Coldplay concert. I don't
It's a
think you should.
pilgrimage.
Yeah, you may not do it in India. You may not do it in India. They do about 100 shows a year. You can plan next year which city you want to go and see them around. But it's a brilliant experience. It's just
So I actually met a person in Mumbai who didn't get the Mumbai ticket, and they're going to Abu Dhabi to watch the concert, and it's cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. My one of the I just was in India on Diwali. One of the friends I met, he's going to Seoul, Korea, to see the Coldplay concert. He's like much cheaper than seeing it in India.
One just last thought was that, like, one point you said is that Coldplay is probably a band from the old, and they are the only one having that energy for live performance. I feel it is similar to us attending in 2000s the bands from the 70s.
Yeah.
If you just do the maths, we are in 2024, and this is a band which is close to 25, 30 years old.
Yeah.
Similarly, when we were going to concert in 2006, 7, 8, 9, the bands which started in early 70s, they were like similar age profile. And they had the same energy, like Roger Waters to Mr. Big to Megadeth, Metallica. This is like Metallica of mid 2000s.
So I guess in conclusion, if you can afford to go, do go and check out Coldplay. It's an experience in itself. I think there is value to just seeing a band really put all of their heart into what they have created for people to see live. कुछ कुछ रंजिश तो है, जैसे यासिर की रंजिश है कि भाई तुमने क्यों अपना why did you leave your true core when I used to have so many scribbles on your albums, but बट वो है मतलब एक्सेप्ट कर लो कि हम बूढ़े हो गए, मतलब यू हैव एज्ड, द वर्ल्ड हैज मूव्ड
Yeah,
ऑन बट यू हैव नॉट,
yeah.
बट कोल्डप्ले decided to keep moving on, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like even though we are millennials, Coldplay happens to have
yeah.
transformed from a millennial artist into a Gen Z artist, and we just accept. And like definitely, if sometime there is an opportunity to see them live, I would look forward to it. It would be like kind of a check in the bucket list of sorts.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Look
See you
forward.
guys. Hope you catch the Coldplay concert, and then see you guys next time.
All righty. May lights guide everybody home.
Please say hello to Chris Martin.
Thank you for finally having us back.
Yeah. Remember what I actually said that night? I said we wanted to have a band on the show that we'd be proud we had on the show in 20 years. And boy, I mean, it was the one thing that we got right. Are you guys what are you gonna do for us here tonight?
Well, that's a problem because you called kind of last minute.
Uh-huh.
We couldn't really get anything together. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
So I did bring you a gift, though, just to say congratulations on your 20th anniversary.
How nice.
It's a small box.
What is this exactly?
Well, you wind it and see
oh,
what
it's
happens.
a music box. Oh, can I wind it?
Yeah, you can wind it, yeah.
All right. That's Clocks, the song you did on our first show. Oh.
The lights go out and I can't be saved. Tides that I tried to swim against have brought me down upon my knees. Oh, and I beg and plead, singing.